I've been working on my colo stuff quite a bit. I'm in this weird spot where I have them racked. I have networking, pretty much working, but I'm struggling so much with, how much do I just copy and paste from my existing architecture and get it there and get it running, or how much do I just rip out and replace right now and make it the way I want it? So I'm kind of struggling. I should probably finish my video and just ask you all for your feedback because the pragmatic in me wants to just get her done, right? Want to get her done, get stuff up, migrate stuff, figure the rest out later. But then the architecture side of me, the developer side of me says like, well, why create that tech debt for later? And so I'm just like pushing and pulling on what I should do. I have some open-ended networking questions and stuff like that. But I've been working on that video. I should just get it out and I'll just toss it out to community, see what you guys think. But anyways, that's what I've been working on. It's kind of been driving me crazy a little bit. It's just this push and pull between get it done and do it right, or get it done and do it the way you want it in the future. Not necessarily right, because the way I have it now, I feel like is pretty right. But when you combine two private clouds, now things get really interesting. So I got to figure that out too. I could use some networking help. So, anyways, like I said, if you have something you want to share, throw it in the chat. Let's talk about it. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way down. Real quick, I'll call this out really quick. There was a couple of events that happened right before the stream or during the stream. I'll start here. Joyzy, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. Driver Steve, Lux Fortuna, and the Axion, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. Make sure my alerts are on too. Twitch alerts, yes, they are. Give them a refresh, because I don't know if I saw them. There we go, refresh. Okay, anyways, so let's hop into chat. Let's see what you guys are up to. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna start from the top, work my way down, and we're just gonna chat. We're just gonna talk. Grabbing a sip really quick because like my throat is really messed up. Okay, let's see. Let me just turn up. I'm not gonna mess with it. This microphone, I feel like my audio setup is on its last leg, and I won't go into it too much, but I think it's a hardware issue because I switched over to my Windows machine last week to test. Same exact thing. So I think there's something wrong, physically wrong, with my device. So, anyways, I'm hopping into chat. I'm not going to complain about audio because it's working right now. Hey, so, checkmate. Oh, yeah, that was my checkmate. What's up, PC Geek? How's it going? Denabime, got it right the first time. Hey, how's it going? Good afternoon, all. Good to see you, Denabime. PC Geek, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Noisu. Oh, man. I'm going with Noisu. I'm supposed to repair one of my home servers, but I don't wanna. It's so messed up. Been there. I get it. Sometimes it feels like a chore to do some of this stuff. I get it. I totally get it. But no one's forcing you to, right? Unless you got things that are running, on your home server for things at home. Take the day off. I'll give you the day off. How about that? I'll give you the day off. But you got to think about it. You got to noodle on it, at least in the background. That's part of my days off. If I say no tech day, or I have things to do, or I'm just like saying, hey, today I'm not going to do anything home lab related, I still noodle on it because time away helps me think about things a little bit better. So, Yakto, how's it going? Holding down YWS. So, Yakto finally got that Arista switch racked and firmware updated. Nice, man. The 100 gigabit one or something crazy. Working on getting VLANs created and port configurations figured out. That is awesome, Yakto. That is awesome. You don't know Yakto, he's got this, he's got like basically a data center in his garage with like 4 racks and like 100 gigabit networking. It's insane. You should totally check it out. He posts photos every now and then of his rack in our Discord. You should post it again, so then when I point people there, they'll see it. But yeah, good to see you, Yakto. Good to see you. Brandon Earing, how's it going, man? Hello, folks. How's it going? Man, I still love seeing people's photos down there. It's great. It's great, because before, on my old tool, I didn't have it. So anyways, Kunefi, hello, Tim, and everyone. Hey, how's it going? Denimine. Oh yeah, you guys did that daylight savings time thing. Yeah, we did. It messes me up. Like it messes me up. I don't know about you guys, but or everyone else. It totally messes me up. Like anytime I travel east, it messes me up. So for me traveling east, I have to wake up earlier, right? And so what just happened was the spring forward. So it was like me going out to the East Coast now. And now I'm like, I'm like so tired, unnecessarily tired, in the morning, I feel like, but I don't know. I've always been a night person either way. So like if I go out west, yeah, I could stay up till 3 a.m. Doesn't matter. But East kills me. And so does daylight savings time. So yeah, we did do it. I think it was last weekend. I don't remember when it was. Denabime. My computer just started up making noises and took me forever to find this window. Oh man. Tech K trying external etcd in HA mode with Cube ADM. Wait, external. Oh, this is interesting. External etcd. Because usually you have etcd inside of your cluster. It's internal etcd, at least with K3s. Or it's internal SQLite with, or it's external MySQL. So that's pretty awesome. That's interesting. Introduced a little bit of latency, but now if you have external etcd, that probably means you only need 2 nodes then for HA, because that's your state store. So there's no need for quorum. Pretty cool stuff. Anyways. I've looked at Cube ADM a couple of times, and I need to look at it more. Funny, I just looked at it a little bit ago. Dude, Kev M. Dude, Kev M92 gifted 3 subs. Dude, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Dude, thank you. You didn't have to. I appreciate it, Kev. So Ning Z94, Hinderceptor, and Romeo Jr. enjoy your gifted sub from Kev. Kev M92. Enjoy your gifted sub. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Let's see. PC Geek. Today I relocated. Hopefully you didn't have a message with that. I didn't see one with that, and I usually read them, but I didn't see one. But Kev, dude, thank you so much. I'll say it again. Thank you. PC Geek. Today I relocated my Unify AP from my wife's closet to the hall closet. And yesterday I moved a few final containers I had running in Docker VM over to my K3s cluster. Awesome. Also started tinkering with Authentic and want to set a forward auth. Awesome. Yeah. We were kind of chatting about Authentic. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think Christian has a video coming up on it. It's I've looked at it before. It's meant to be like your identity provider for everything. So it's pretty cool. Very complex. But yeah, forward auth would be awesome because then you can configure possibly some single sign-on stuff. I've used Authelia in the past. I looked at Authentic at the time. It was pretty new, pretty complicated, but I'm excited to see what Christian has cooking. He's got some stuff cooking up, at least according to his messages that I saw. Denimime, still trying to get my Ansible playbook going to turn up an AWX machine. Yeah, still trying to get, still trying to get my Ansible playbook going to turn up an AWX machine. Interesting. So you're using a playbook to build an AWX machine, so then you can automate your Ansible. Maybe that it sounds pretty awesome. I've been working on it every day for a couple of weeks on this. Yeah, it can get complicated. I again, like what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, hey, there's the pragmatist in me like wants to, get things working so I can do other things with it. But then there's a piece of me that always like wants to like make it right and perfect and at all costs. And so I'm always pushing and pulling. And I know you're probably like, hey, I'm going to make this work. I've already got a couple weeks into it. That happens to me a lot. I mean, like I was talking about earlier, it was just happening to me this morning when I was doing some of my networking stuff between the colo and here. But it happens to me a lot too. Like every time I'm like, yes, I'm gonna use Terraform providers for Proxmox and do IAC for all of my infrastructure. Then I get to then I start to do it and dig in, and providers aren't that great. it's not as great as cloud ones like AWS. And then I think I'm only going to do this once. I'm only going to like bootstrap these machines once. And like I push and pull, like how much time do I spend on this that I'm going to bootstrap once, versus putting that time into everything else downstream. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough trying to decide on where you spend your time. But I think you got this. You got this. If you made it this far, you got it. Cadis, is a question for you, Tim. If you only had one server and you were resetting everything up from scratch, what would you do? Oh yeah, good question. Good question, because this tugs at my heartstrings, almost weekly. I always flip flop back and forth between, man, I should just have like this big all-in-one server, let it do everything, and then not have all of these nodes I have in this cluster, or do I build out a cluster and then make things HA? I go back and forth on this all the time. But you're saying, hey, you don't have an option for a clustering, so what would you do? This one's tough too. Even this one's tough. So the big all-in-one, it's tough because then you have to kind of decide, okay, what is your host OS like? First of all, you have to decide on what roles you want to give this thing, right? Is it going to be a hypervisor? Is it going to run containers? Is it just going to run an OS? Is it going to be your NAS too? And for a big all-in-one, the answer is yes. It's yes to all of those. So then you get into your first conundrum. Do you pick a hypervisor that is great, but not a great NAS? Or do you pick a NAS that's great, but not a great hypervisor? I think this is where a lot of people in home lab land all the time. All the time. Me personally, I've always went with, I'm going to pick a good hypervisor that's not a great NAS. And that would be Proxmox. So for me personally, this will give you unlimited possibilities in the future. Me personally, that's what I would do. I would put Proxmox on it, and then anything that I have downstream, so any guests on there, if they had very specific requirements, I would pass that hardware down to it. So think of a NAS. Yes, in that case, I would virtualize my NAS. So I would virtualize TrueNAS as the operating system for my NAS, but then I would pass physical disks to that NAS VM so that I get TrueNAS. And then on top of that, it'd be everything else. Do I want to run Plex? Yes, I do. So okay, well, I'm going to get a video card, toss it in there, get SSDs. And I think if you go with Proxmox to start, I think you have a great foundation. If you go the other way, I mean, not to knock TrueNAS, but I'm going to knock TrueNAS. The hypervisor on TrueNAS, it's not great. I'm just going to say that. I mean, does it do all the things you want it to do? Yes. Is there anything technically wrong with it? No. But the experience is subpar. If really your goal is to run a hypervisor. Anyways, and I will also say that I would choose Proxmox because it gives me opportunities in the future to expand. So then, like, hey, if I wanted to build a Proxmox cluster, all right, just going to pop in one or two more servers. Technically, you should do two more, so you get three, but you can set up CoralSync or something to vote or whatever. All that aside, I think it makes it a lot easier to expand later. Because you'll probably get in the same conundrum I get in. Like, oh, yeah, I'm back all in one server. This is great. And then all of a sudden you run out of RAM, or you run out of drive slots, or you run out of, PCI Express slots. And then you're like, okay, now I'm going to have two servers. And now I got to figure all this out again. But anyways, great question. My architecture would still be the same architecture that I did in the very beginning, which would be start with Proxmox, figure out everything else from there. Because everything else from there will fall in place. And if you're going to have a NAS, virtualize TrueNAS. 100% okay. Just make sure you pass the disk through, physical disks through, and not virtual disks, and don't use any RAID adapter or anything like that. And don't create your ZFS in Proxmox and then pass it. Just don't do anything crazy. But some people think that even virtualize TrueNAS is crazy. I'm telling you it's not, because I did it for 3-4 years straight. Anyways, yeah, good question. Good question. Same architecture. I'm still on the same architecture. It has not changed. Single box is always Proxmox for me. Puppalist Mocha, hey, how's it going? Howdy, Tim and all. Been quite busy lately with automation. Hey, awesome. Packer, Terraform, Ansible, and now getting into Argo. Hopefully this upcoming week. Awesome. Yeah. You're nailing them all right there. Packer, Terraform, Ansible. Yeah. So if I had to guess, you're using. Oh yeah. So you're using Terraform to first spin up your cloud or your infrastructure. And then you're using Packer to rebuild your images for those nodes. Ansible probably deploy stuff, maybe one-off stuff, but then Argo to automate your Kubernetes stuff. So pretty awesome. Yeah, that's kind of where like that everything before Kubernetes, like I struggle with like how much time do I put in this? Because I'm only gonna do it once, you know. But I get it. Like if that's your goal, you know, if that's what your sweet spot is right there, I totally get it. You totally should. But yeah, dude, thank you. Hey, dude, thank you so much. Melkosoft Games. Hey, thanks so much. 100 bits. Thank you so much. PM is a best. I think you mean. I'm assuming Proxmox is the best. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But yeah, it all boils down to you know, NAS first or hypervisor first. It's what I've always said, you know. And what do you value more? If you value NAS more and you think you're going to get more out of that, probably go with that. You could probably run some apps and you could probably run some VMs. Fine, it'll be fine. But if you want to be able to expand in the future, 100%, go Proxmox first. That TrueNAS, especially the OS, the OS, 100% could be virtualized. But yeah, good questions. Man, a lot of stuttering going on. I don't ever stutter. Oh, let's see. PCGate. I have the same exact mini Keystone panel in my new office closet. What the name? Oh, is I had up there. Yeah, probably on my video. Yeah, I love it. Denabime, AWX deployment playbook. Yeah, I knew it. I picked up what you were laying down. I got it. 7. I was supposed to be running Cat 6a in my house. That's being built, but it's not quite ready. Oh, awesome. So you're supposed to be running Cat. Oh, awesome. Well, dang it. What I've noticed when people always, the people that I know that have built houses in the past, everything's no one's ever on time. Like no one ever gets their house built on a schedule. I think you gotta bribe them. I think there's like, and I heard about this, like you build in like a bonus tip for them to be done on time or something. Build in some kind of bonus, some incentive for them to be done on time. It's kind of like, wait, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing anyways? I don't know. I have a couple of friends who've done remodeling projects, not on the building house piece, but on the remodeling projects, big ones. They built in bonuses to be done by a certain time. I'm like, wait, that's the date they quoted you on. But I get it. Things run over. Salvarius and Johnny Depp in the house. Hey, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I had to put the hat on. I don't usually go light mode hat, but I wanted to today. My hair's a little wild. But as someone else told me, isn't it always? I mean, yeah, it's pretty wild right now. Funny, I jumped on a call to talk to someone, and my hair was all wild. This was Thursday morning. And I was like, oh, sorry, my hair's a little wild. Today's, kind of YouTube day. I'm just doing some writing and some editing. And they were like, isn't it always wild? And I was like, yeah, good point. I need to stop apologizing for it. So, but yeah, how's it going? Good to see you, Salvarius. Howdy, Tim. Nice to see you. Avalanche, Mr. Hey, you too, sir. Something is different. Yeah, something is different. You tell me. It's a lot cleaner behind you. Yeah, it is. Those servers are in the colo. I racked them last Friday morning. They're there. They're up and online. Got a VPN site to site going. I already got DNS going. I can remote into them, no problem. Site to site from here to there. It's pretty awesome too. And it's only about 2.5 miles away. I live really close to downtown Minneapolis where it is. And I can ping my servers sub-millisecond. It's pretty wild, but it's pretty cool. When 2 out of 4 pings are sub-milliseconds, so pretty cool. It's like, I ping it at first, it's like 1 millisecond, ping it again, 0.8 milliseconds, ping it again, 1.1, and it goes back and forth. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I was saying earlier, got a lot to figure out. I need to just get this video out, and kind of toss this out to you all and see what you think on which direction I should go, because I'm kind of, I almost want to like consult with people and ask them, but I guess the way that I do that is I'm just gonna toss it out on YouTube and see what people say. Budney, how's it going? Good afternoon, all. Zendi, hi there. Exion, I came here from your YouTube. Nice content there. Hey, thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate you coming. Glad you made it all the way here from YouTube. I know that's a huge chasm to cross, because a lot of people don't find that link in the description, then they don't click on it, and then when they do, I'm usually not online. So I appreciate you being here, and thank you for the kudos on the channel. I try to make it okay, and I try to make the click worth it. Cyber Knight, to service layer or not, lay it, I think you meant layer. I mentioned a few weeks ago, jumped off the large corporate frameworks, Grails and Spring, for personal stuff on Rails, but struggled to want to create a service layer for business logic. Thoughts? Yeah, I would. I don't know. I mean, I would. Yes, I would. Because I know this is home, and I know you can, probably take shortcuts. But if you're used to doing it, the corporate way, the corporate way is usually going to be pretty good, solid architecture, right? For the most part. If someone thought about it ahead of time. You're talking about building a service layer, and I think so. Because then you abstract a lot of that out of whatever, the back-end layer, or force it down on the client, and so it's like, where are you going to put that logic? Does it go on the back end? Does it go, on the front end? And so I say go build the service layer. Do it like you would do, at work. I don't know, that's the way I roll. Every time I think I'm taking a shortcut, it just ends up being more complicated though too. So yeah, go for it, I say. And abstracting that and factoring that out shouldn't be too hard. It's just, a little more work, but makes it, I was going to say, it makes it so easy to test, but this is home stuff. You're probably not writing tests. So, that's again, this is like and with you, hey, how pragmatic should I be? Should I make this, home app that I'm building for fun, enterprise ready, or should I just get the thing done? I push and pull with that. But when it comes to code, for the most part, I've done plenty of hack jobs at home. Plenty of hack jobs. I got plenty of hack jobs running right now. But I start with good intentions. And that's, I think, where you're at, is where you want to lay down a good foundation. And then from there, if you got hack stuff up in 6 months, go for it. Good to see you, Cyber Knight. Mr. Technician, hey, Tim. I launched my Amtrak scraping website, Rail for Less. Nice. And moved it to an automated world of tanks. Oh, I was like, automated world of tanks. Where is this? Tanks replay. I recording the project. Wait, hold on. Is it tanks or thanks? World of thanks, I assume. Replay. I'm recording the project. Mr. Technician, that is awesome. Rails for Less. I'm sure there are typos in there, but I'm glad there are, because I'm thinking of automating tanks. But anyways, awesome. I'd love to see it. I'm curious if you went with a proxy, with a proxy or not, and which one you went with. So I had a lot of experience there. Awesome. Hey, I am Utpa. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. Hey, Tim, I have 3 desktops with complete different configuration. Do you think creating Proxmox cluster on them will be fine? Hey, yes. Will it be fine? Sure. If that's what you have and you want to play with Proxmox clustering, sure. Like, there aren't any limitations in Proxmox. There's one caveat, but I'm going to make a blanket statement, and then I'll get to the caveat. There aren't any limitations if you use different types of nodes, or different hardware for your nodes within your cluster. Like, there's no software limitation. The one caveat you will get into is if you set your processor type to host and some of those features aren't available on the other processors, it won't let you migrate them. All things aside, if you just use the new default AES 256, I forget what it is, there's a new processor type that it sets to by default. Set that for your VMs, and you should be fine. You should be fine. You should be able to create these 3 nodes. Yes, you may or may not be able to, you may or may not have, ZFS so that you can actually live migrate nodes back and forth. But you could always, back them up and restore them. So yeah, I mean, if that's all you got, yeah, absolutely, go for it. Go for it. Why not? Why not? You're gonna run into, any shortcoming. You're gonna find out really quick. But I wouldn't let that stop your project or stop from learning or figuring out where those shortcomings are. I'd say go for it. If the choice is, hey, I have 3 desktops and I want to play with Proxmox clustering, or I don't do it, absolutely go for it. Sounds like a great way to spend your Saturday. So, dude, thank you so much. Dude, I got to get this right. Melcosoft. I keep wanting to say Microsoft, but I love it. Melcosoft. Dude, thanks for the sub. Tier 1. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How's it going? Thank you again. Sub. Oh, I got to get better at repeating these. Melcosoft. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Microsoft. Melcosoft. Thank you. Exile. Exicle. I don't know how to pronounce it, but hey, thanks for the follow. You're right there. I'll call it out real quick. Mr. Technician, also getting fiber. Lumen Tech says they will have fiber at my house soon. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, fiber makes everything better. Sounds like this is a Fiber One commercial. Not that kind of fiber. But yeah, that is awesome when you get fiber. It is awesome for a couple reasons, because then you're like, yes, no more of my old ISP. All of those old ISP problems are gone. Now I'm on to new ISP. That's probably the number one thing. At least for me it was. Like, yes, I don't have to deal with X company anymore. I get to deal with Y company, and they're a new company, and they have better tech, and they charge a better price, and I'm getting a better value. That's typically how it works, right? That seems to be how it works. So I'm happy for you. And then on top of that, then you're getting fiber. Then it's like, okay, sky's the limit. You can pay for as much bandwidth as you want, and you're probably getting symmetric up and down. Like they're most newer fiber companies are doing all the right things, and they're not nickel and diming you and capping your uploads, but and then giving you shared download. None of that. So, I mean, who knows? I could be talking up Lumen Tech, never heard of them, but any new company launching, especially in this space, knows what people expect. So, and they try to be, consumer first and make a profit on the side. I don't know. That's a huge blanket statement. That's been my experience. I hope that's your experience too. Kunefi, I think I'm finally starting to setting up my home lab all over again this weekend. I love it. Spring cleaning. Let's start all over. It's so messed up right now, but I have so much to figure out. Hey, Kunefi, yeah, I hear you. It's fun to start all over. It's fun to press that reset button and think about things different and maybe do things different, or maybe do things the same but a little bit better. But I agree. Romeo Jr. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Good to see you. Zendi, has anyone any idea if a Dell DR4100 can be reconfigured firmware to be an R720 chassis parts look identical? I don't know. I got nothing there. Denabime, it's more fun re-implementing. Yeah, I agree. On re-implementing stuff, yeah, and do it all with Ansible. I mean, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, no, I hear you. It's so fun to have something automated 100%. 100%. It is for sure. You can just let it run, sit back. Yep. That's how I got into automation was packaging software, and packaging software is kind of what got me into program. It got me into a lot of things, but I always remember just kicking off the software package for the first time. I'm like, yep, I get to watch this one because this is the first time running it. Yeah, if it was Microsoft Office or Service Pack on Windows, oh yeah, that was a long coffee break letting that thing run. Sigor, how's it going? Hey everyone, how you doing? Cadis. Going to migrate my only server from Unraid to Proxmox. All right, with a TrueNAS VM. This is what we were just talking about. Can't decide if I want to go simple with Docker VMs, any swarm for the overlay network, or try K3S. Don't need high availability anything. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, this one's tough. Especially, I don't know if you're going single box, multi-box. I assume it's single box, and so then you're going to create VMs in there, and then you might have, multiple VMs that you could then put in HA mode, so you could have some things kind of HA, but all in the same box. I totally get it. I did that for a while too. People were like, "Is it really HA if it's all in the same box?" Yes, kind of, sorta. For the most part, it's a high availability cluster, but it doesn't mean that your infrastructure is highly available, though. But that's totally fine. I mean, I did that before with K3S because then I could reboot one node, I could patch one node and do whatever I wanted to one node, and my service would still live on. Might be an interruption in service if that pod lived on the one node I took down, but it would quickly move over to one of the available nodes. So yeah, it's totally up to you. It sounds fun. I think. I will always say this, that I think Kubernetes is a great skill to learn, and I know it's tough, and I know it's hard, and I know it can be confusing and complicated, but once you start to get it, there's always more things to learn, but once you start to get it, if you understand, typical infrastructure, even from a high level, if you understand what a load balancer is. Well, in Kubernetes, you get a load balancer. You just define it in YAML. If you understand what a process is, well, Kubernetes, you get a process. It just comes in a container, Or if you understand what disks are and volumes are, well, you get that in Kubernetes too. You get persistent volumes, and then you get claims for those volumes, and the claim assigns it to one of your processes. And so, as soon as you start understanding that mapping, it gets a lot easier. You think, I want to run a cron job. Well, Kubernetes, you get cron jobs. They're just called batch jobs, And so it's pretty cool once you get it, because then you can start to map things to the cloud native way of doing it. And then you're kind of like, oh, okay, I get it. It gets really confusing on networking. I won't lie. Services get a little bit confusing. Okay, yeah, services are, it's the glue between, this pod that you're running and how, networking or DNS and how they communicate. But I think it's time well spent. Anyways, all that aside, I'm 100% behind Docker only too. So it doesn't matter. It just depends on where you want to spend your time. Do you want to spend your time on those services that are running, further downstream of your containerization platform? Or do you want to spend your time on your containerization platform, upstream of those services? And so I'll say that, I'll say that to anybody. It just depends on what you're interested in and where you want to spend your time. If your goal is like, dude, I want, MB or Jellyfin up as soon as possible, go Docker, But if you're like, yeah, I would eventually want, Jellyfin running, and I want to check out K3S and Kubernetes, yeah, go for it. It just depends on, your delivery and your SLA for some of those things. And again, how much time you want to spend on stuff. But yeah, it's fun. Either way. Malcosoft, yeah. How's it going? Hi, Tim. Hi, everyone. Budney, I moved 1.5 months ago. So HomeLab got a new server rack and both machines got new chassis. Still lots to buy. This weekend is undervolting main PC and redoing my MacBook Air. Yeah, you got a lot going on. So you moved a month and a half ago, and so you're probably still figuring out where things are. HomeLab got it. Yeah, and moving takes a lot of energy. Not only physical energy, a lot of mental energy, because you're like, I don't know where things are. Does this thing go here? Where's the new spot for this thing? Like, we don't even have a spot for this thing anymore. Where does this go? Like, and you're partially living out of boxes for a month. Yeah, it's tough, but you'll get it. You'll get it. But it's fun too. It's fun. It's fun figuring those things out. The act of moving is not fun. The act of unpacking for me is kind of fun. Everything up to unpacking at the new place, I could do without. Kev, just placed my first order. Hey, on the Techno Tim shop. Thank you so much. Ordered to Germany. Really like the inclusiveness in regards to sizing of shirts and double-sided prints on the mugs. Hey, yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. I just want to, thank you so much. I know that shipping can be, I'm in a tough spot with shipping, but I did include the entire world for the most part, so you can order from anywhere. And sizing, yeah, I get it too. Like, I'm an oddball size, so I try to include everything from, I think, a small or extra small all the way up to 4X. So, yeah, I totally get it. I totally, I mean, some of those sizes are limited, but I'm glad you found your size. And then, that is awesome. All the way to Germany. Yeah. And the mugs, too. I had to double side print. It cost me a little bit more. But, I was like, well, this one's double sided. Part of the reason why I did it, it's because if you're left-handed or right-handed, I want people to be able to see what's on the mug. And that's not the mug. That's a startup I used to work at. It's my second favorite mug now, but it's pretty good. But, appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am Utpa. Do you believe it's preferable to host Docker in a completely isolated machine, or would the VM route be fine? Really quick, let me get caught up on follows. Probably unmotivated. Hey, me too. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for following. Vice Marino, thank you too. Thanks for following. Welcome. Yeah, good question. So, hey, I want to host Docker. Should I isolate that and put that on bare metal? Or is running it in a VM fine? They're both fine. Typically, what I do is I honestly, and people say, it's a waste of resources and all this stuff. They'll give me 15 reasons of why this is a bad idea. Not from an architecture standpoint or security standpoint, but more of just like wasted resources. I do virtualize. I virtualize, a machine. And then in there, I run my containers. I've always done that. Hey, dude, thank you. Gold Coast, thank you so much. Dude, 400 bits, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Love your content. Hey, yeah, I'm just trying the best I can all the time. And everything that I share is what I worked on last week or the week before. So these are always my projects, always things I want to explore. And so you guys are getting to see it. So, and I appreciate it. And I'm glad you like it. I'm Upa, but yeah, so going back to this, you could totally do it either way. Personally, I think like I don't run anything bare metal except for my Windows machine, and my Mac, those are the only things I run bare metal, and my Pis. Okay, I got a lot of exceptions. Anything else when it's a server, for me personally, it's Proxmox. 100% Proxmox. I've run a Proxmox on a low power old Intel NUC just to run one virtual machine on there. And that virtual machine actually ran Docker. And the reason why I do this is this. Having a hypervisor or a hypervisor running bare metal and then virtualizing the guest, it just gives you so many options. It gives you so many options like, hey, I want to create another virtual machine really quick, right? Hey, I messed up this virtual machine. I'm just going to delete it. Hey, I'm about to do something really crazy. I should probably back up this virtual machine really quick before I do this. And, hypervisors in general, no matter which one you do or choose, will let you do that. Will let you back things up. When it comes to bare metal, it gets a lot harder. Can you back up bare metal? Sure. Are there agents that let you to do it? Sure. Is it easy to then restore bare metal? Kinda, not really. There's a lot of manual steps involved. And so for me, I've always chose a hypervisor. And depending on your hardware and depending on your setup, at most, a hypervisor is going to add around 2-ish% of overhead to it, And that's, if you're, have enough IOPS and all this stuff, it's that layer. And I think, 2% overhead for that is definitely worth that capability. So, but yeah, personally, if it were me, Proxmox is always running on metal. Rarely is it a for me a guest operating system, which I think Ubuntu, whatever. Only if I have very specialized needs, like I do for my Windows machine in my Mac, or if the CPU doesn't support, the hypervisor like system on a chip stuff like Pi. Believe me, if a Pi could run it pretty good, I know there are hacks out there. I might even do it, but those guys can't keep up. Monk Zipper. I'm going Monk Zipper. New here. Thanks for all the videos, tutorials. Hey, no problem, Monk Zipper. Sorry it took me so long to get your comment. Thank you. Elmo, I'm gonna try to go fast because we're good on time, but I just need to get caught up because I hate it when I leave a lot of people's comments on the floor when I'm done. Elmo, just working on setting up HA proxy with Dyn DNS with a Cloudflare so I can set up a Pal World server. Yeah, nice. Sounds awesome. I will say though, Cloudflare. Okay, yes. You probably know this, but I'm just going to throw it out there in case you don't. So if you are going to use the Cloudflare proxy, I don't think your game server will work behind that Cloudflare proxy because that Cloudflare proxy is only doing layer 7 application layer, which is HTTP. Basically, it's only doing web traffic. And so if you're thinking like, hey, I'm gonna use Cloudflare and use their free proxy, not their load balancer, and I'm gonna put my game server behind it, it's not gonna work. It's not, you can't tunnel, TCP traffic or UDP traffic through the proxy down to you. I'm just throwing it out there in case you start beating your head against a wall later on. But yeah, sounds awesome. I wish I could. I wish I could host a Pal World server. I mean, I can, but no one would play on it. I mean, I don't even play the game. I've always just loved like hosting game servers, and I just want other people to play them. Like if I look at the stats and I see like, hey, one of my old Nexus or NextWii server had 19 out of 20 people on it, I'd be like, yeah, not even playing, just seeing that there are people playing on my servers. I love it. So anyways, enjoy. It sounds fun. I would love to host a server. I'll host a server for anyone. It sounds fun. Noise. No heating without home automation, all manual. Hey, that's okay. That's okay too. It's okay too, because then you can't get hacked, right? Then you can't get hacked. Oh, it's okay to be manual on heating. Totally fine. What's the easiest way to deploy AWX? Oh, very carefully. How do you deploy AWX? You install Semaphore. No, I'm kidding. Red Hat people are probably like, ooh. No, so I've never done AWX. I've looked at it many times. Every time I go to start, I'm like, whoa, this is way too complicated. And I think they've made it. I don't know. I mean, I'm making assumptions, but it just seems like there isn't great documentation around it. Maybe, hey, that might be my fault. I should open a pull request after I figure it out and set it up. But it's pretty complicated. It seems overly complicated or overly obfuscated on how to get it running. But I'm sure there are great docs out there. I'm sure, now that it's gaining some popularity, I'm sure there are easy ways to install it. I just haven't found those yet. So I don't know the easiest way. Because I haven't looked in a while. And then Semaphore came along, and that looks pretty interesting to me too. G'day, y'all. Yeah, I love it. Sigor, question for the group. I've been trying to access a Jellyfin server from a remote network. Normally, I would just throw Tailscale on everything, but in this instance, it is a remote Roku that I'm trying to point back to the home network. Yeah, to the home network. After trying several options, the only thing I can think of is to have a second instance of Jellyfin that is behind, that is getting, hard for me to see, synced back to the main server. Oh yeah. Yeah, does that sound like it might work? Sigor, oh man. Yeah, that's a tough call. So I totally get what you're trying to do. You have you run Jellyfin at home. There's someone else that wants to get to your Jellyfin server. They have a Roku TV, and typically you would just install WireGuard and stuff, but you can't because the Roku TV doesn't have WireGuard. So you're trying to figure out, well, how the heck can I get that Roku TV to then connect to my home network back home with Jellyfin? Yeah, that's a tough call. I don't have any great answers there. That is a tough call. I will say, though, if it were an Apple TV, it would work. And you say what you want about Apple. I'm only saying this because Tailscale actually has an Apple TV client. that can do exactly that. So I know that's not an option. They're not going to buy a TV. They're not going to replace Roku. So probably out of the question. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, PC Geek says site-to-site VPN. I'm thinking, doesn't Tailscale have this like sub-route networking thing that like you could have? Because Tailscale has like, it can now route like sub-routing, sub-network routing. Yeah, you can route subnets. So you could have a node running on their network that would route subnets to their TV. Yeah. Yeah, so then, I mean, depending on if you could put infrastructure at their house. I think that's a big question. That's a big question is, can you put infrastructure at their house? If you can put something as small as a Pi or as small as whatever, a tiny NUC or something you want that's going to work. Yeah, I think you can use, pfSense would probably work too, but I mean, that's throwing in a whole entire firewall. But Tailscale has subnet routing where I think you could figure this out. I think you can. I haven't done it, but it sounds awesome. Separate from running, so let me see, exit notes for Tailscale. With pfSense, it's not that hard. Same here, Salvares, separate from running as an exit node. Separate, I agree, separate. They do support subnet routing, which I think is fairly recently. And I think that's the network magic you're looking for. Romeo Jr., I think I'm finally going to update Proxmox cluster to 7 to 8. Should be interesting. Hey, that's a pretty easy jump. 7 to 8 was pretty okay. 6 to 7 was, I wouldn't say rough, but a little challenging. I think the only part where it gets super challenging is if you're also running Ceph. That gets pretty challenging then too. Not challenging, because it's all documented, but there's just more steps. I think it's good. Get on 8. Get on 8 as soon as you can. They keep adding so many great things. Every update I get, I'm like, wow, man, they are making this. I think they're making strides towards making their UI. How do I put this? I think they're making bigger strides towards making their UI or their UX more user friendly. Because all the people, that may or may not be coming from, VMware. And I've noticed like they've been putting in things you would typically have to configure in a config file by SSHing in. They're now adding to the UI because no one at VMware has ever hey, let's SSH into my VMware host and change some config files to configure email. And so I'm not knocking them. But I now think their product manager is prioritizing probably a lot of UX stuff over some of the features that maybe some of the developers want to see. But I think it's good. But yeah, should be good. YWS, all right. Redundancy and uptime rivals AWS. That is right, Salvarius. That is right. Yocto, yeah, his you don't want to see Yocto's 9s on his uptime. They're long. He's got long 9s out there at YWS. Denabime, try living in Arizona. It's confusing for weeks. Oh yeah, because you're one of the ones that don't change. Hey, I've been there. I used to live in a time zone that did not change. It was a little corner of Indiana. And it was so confusing because, and half the reason why they ended up switching, which Arizona should probably do too, but in Indiana, sometimes we were on Central with Chicago, other times we are on Eastern. And so like anytime, this is like growing up, like anytime you wanted to watch a TV show, you had no idea. You're like, because you're getting broadcasts from all these different places, and they'd say 8, 9 Central, or if you're in Indiana, this, and if you're in Michigan, this. And it'd be so confusing. And if I drove, 9 miles over the border to Michigan, and I went north, all of a sudden I was like in a different time zone. So anyways, when I lived there, the first question people always asked you is, what time is it there? Any meeting you had, what time is it there? Because they had no idea. But yeah, I get you. I've been there. Hello from France, Krabs. Hey, how's it going? East Coast, best coast. Oh man, Midwest coast. No coast is the best coast. No coast, best coast. That's the Midwest. where's best? Salvaris, Arizona is easy, all desert. Expect crazy weather. Yeah, for sure. Budney, I lived in BHC working in Laughlin, Nevada years ago. It was fun. Not. I bet it was hot. Yes, I bet it was. Kunefi. Ooh-wee, this is a long one. I'm going to try to plow through this one. I think I have been networking questions in my head for 3 days. Now I want to segment my network because security issues. But if I use VLANs for it, was too much VLANs around and it will become hard to maintain and configure. Also, my router uplink is 1 gig, so there is a bottleneck. Like, I want to secure to set rules like the server can be talk this one and this one, but not that one. Yep. I wonder, are there any other solutions other than VLANs for this? Yeah. So I get what you're saying. You're like, hey, I want to secure my network, but VLANs are pretty complicated. And then on top of that, I have to, once I set up VLANs, then I have to create lots of ACLs so that, you know, that I get the benefits out of VLANs. Most of the benefits out of VLANs. There are other ones outside of ACLs. And how do I do it? Are there better ways? I mean, yeah, that's that is a great question. I mean, you could totally, yeah. I mean, then it's going to be subnetting and firewalling or something else. You know, I think VLAN is the way to go. I think VLANing is the way to go, because anything else I feel like is gonna, unless you're gonna be running like application firewalls on all your servers and creating rules there, or, you know, gonna use IP tables and gonna use firewall stuff, you know, I feel like that is getting off into the weeds and doing things that are gonna be more difficult to troubleshoot. Whereas with VLANs, yes, it's complicated. Yes, it's you know, it's gonna be a lot of work every time you need to make a change, but it's all centralized, right? It's going to be all centralized on your switch to where you're like, cool, you know, this is the one place that I configured all of that, rather than doing it down at the client level. And then, you know, and it, you know, then I don't have to do like real subnetting or anything like that. And then put firewalls in between. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. You just got to do it. If I could give one suggestion, that big one, don't go all out. Create two in the beginning. And what I would do, how do you eat what's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So instead of trying to do all of the VLANs and creating all of the rules and redoing everything, take your network right now, split it in half. Just split it in half. Create a brand new VLAN, nothing's on there. Create one firewall rule or one ACL that says, you guys can't talk to each other. No. And then there's one rule you could do. It's the RF439. I forget it. RFC4, whatever it is. You basically create a rule that says any private IP can't talk to any other private IP or network. You put that in between, and then you're done for now. Your network still stays the same, but you have a VLAN. And now you can kind of move things over on your own time, right? So let's say your second VLAN is going to be your IoT VLAN. Well, move one device over there, see if it works. Yeah, it works. Great. Everything works. Okay. Move another device over there. Keep moving more and more over there until things work. And if things don't work or you need to communicate, you're going to have to create ACLs to allow that to happen. But instead of thinking of everything you have to do and mapping all of this out, I think one of the best things to do is split your network in half, create a second VLAN, and then just do it at your own time, And then you start to get the benefits of VLANs. The first one you're probably going to create is IoT, or if you're hosting things public, maybe it's going to be a DMZ-like VLAN. And I think that's the way to go, is split it in half, one byte at a time, one device at a time, and just take it easy. Take it easy. It's overwhelming, I know. And I went the overwhelming way. I was like creating spreadsheets, creating 5 or 6 VLANs. I went way too wide. And it made for a lot of headaches. So anyways, if I could go back and tell myself, I would say just split your network in half. have 2 VLANs. When that's not good enough, split another one in half, then have 3 VLANs, you know, and just keep splitting stuff in half until you, well, they're not halves anymore, but yeah, you know what I mean. Until you have, you know, segmentation that makes sense for you. I wouldn't go too specific. That's why I would always, you know, split in half, because then you can kind of decide, like, you know, like if you split it in half and your public servers and your IoT devices are now on the other side, you're like, kind of don't want the public things and my IoT devices together. Well, I'm going to split that in half now. Now I'm going to move my, you know, public servers over to there. I mean, you don't have to do that same order of operations, but that's the way I would think about it. Anyways, yeah, just split them all in half. That's yeah. Split computers. Yep, I totally agree. Just split computers and IoT. I totally agree. That's the best first step. Best first step. And if you do that, your home network is probably more secure or more segmented. Who knows if it's more secure or not? More segmented than 99.9% of people's home networks. Not more than mine, but most people's. Anyways, but yeah. Yeah, from nothing. Yeah, Denabime. Yeah, I so going back to AWX, yeah, I mean, that's tough. I don't know. From nothing, but you'll get it. You'll get it for sure. Good day. Hey, Tim, can I ask you, how many mirrored VDEVs do you have in your TrueNAS pool? Also, have you looked at your L2 ARC and slog usage? I've been reading that L2 ARC isn't used that much. Oh, yeah, I gotta go. Ooh, I gotta dig up some old stuff. How many do I have? So I have 5. So I have 5 pairs, 10 disks going across. And I have, so to get that out of the way, I have 5 mirrored pairs, 10 14 terabyte drives. I think I can only add 2 more pairs before my HL15 is filled up. And have I looked at my L2 ARC and slog? Yeah, I have. And I totally agree. Tiny bit of usage, except there are some exceptions, except when I edit videos. When I edit videos, it lights up like a Christmas tree, and I love it. I love it because, you know, it's all pink and blue everywhere, and you see my ZFS like seek ahead where it's trying to guess on what file I'm using and trying to load that into cache. So yeah, I mean, really, for the most part, it's there to kind of round out all of the rough edges, right? In general, just trying to take all the rough edges out from you or someone else requesting files from that big spinning disk pool, right? That's all it's trying to do. Yeah, for L2 ARC, I mean, well, for slog, there's a little bit more benefit there, especially because it's your write intent log, right? And so, yeah. Anyways, for all intents and purposes, you know, it's trying to smooth out your writes, trying to smooth out your reads, and then, you know, like slog it's going to give you some benefit too, like in a power outage scenario. But, you know, like I said in that video, a lot of times it looks kind of boring because, you know, I'm a user of one, you know. Yeah, I'm 100% user of one. My wife uses nothing on the network. Well, she does watch Plex and her TV's there, but that's not, you know, that's not filling up my ARC or anything else like that. And I mean, I don't know the exact algorithm that TrueNAS is using to guess or to put things in and out of ARC, but they have something there that they've tuned to guess. And so the only time I really see it is when I'm editing videos. Because when I edit videos, I'm pulling in like my last one. I'll go my last one that I did because of one I'm working on now. I'm not totally done. Last video that I did on LocalSend, 72 gigs, you know, and I had, you know, whatever. I had 8 or 9 different videos, you know, 8 or 9 different, you know, clips, video clips as they call them in Adobe, that I'm pulling in, that I'm scrubbing through, you know, 4K clips, you know, and I'm moving and shuffling things around. That's the only time I see not my slog fill up, but my L2 ARC get used. Slog I do see get used on a write. So when I dump, you know, when I'm going and dumping these files into there, I do. But again, like, you know, 99, I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's just like, hey, how much, you know, internet do you really use at home? You know, you have all this bandwidth, but 99% of the time it's idle, right? Because, I mean, you think you use it a lot, but, you know, you're at work, you're sleeping, and so for the most part it's pretty idle. It's kind of the same thing, at least with my TrueNAS, especially with one user. I don't even count like my wife watching something on Plex as another user. But these are enterprise systems, and so if you throw 100, 200 users at it that are all accessing files, you'll start to see that light up pretty quick. So anyways, yeah, long story short, it's gonna look pretty boring. It's gonna look boring unless you're writing really big files, or you're reading lots of files that aren't cached, or you don't have a lot of RAM to where your L2 ARC is really going to do something. But yeah, it's such a, you're just smoothing out rough edges, but I totally get it, G'day. I totally get it. But if you want to see it, copy a gigantic file. If you have a 10 gig connection, copy something that's 100 gigs. Just go to some, you can create, sample files that are 100 gigs with a couple CLI commands, and then just copy it over your NAS. And let it run, see how long it takes, and then see what's being used. And then modify that file. And then go try to read it. Try to read it from somewhere else, but the trick is, like, it's in ARC at that point, unless it's too big. But if you find a way to flush ARC, like reboot your TrueNAS server, and then go try to read it, then you'll see that it's coming from disk and not ARC. Anyways, oh man, it's super confusing, and I don't blame you. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I could go on for this all day. I think you had 5 pairs. Yes, last I heard. Cadis, you got it. Yeah, you guys know. Yeah, 5 pair. That's where I'm at. 10 disk. Denabime, I got the machine created, joining my IPA domain, installing K3s. Now I'm stuck on AWX. I told you it's not easy. Like, I feel like it's unnecessarily hard to install. And I think that's because of the lack of documentation. I could be wrong. Cadis, I have the big all-in-one server. All right. Upgrading it from a 5950X from a 3900X. Awesome. Yeah, big all-in-ones. I'm a huge fan. I keep going back and thinking, like, why don't I just make my HL15 my big all-in-one and shut down everything else? But then the Kubernetes sides in me is like, well, it's fun to play with Kubernetes. And then like the big all-in-one Docker sides in me is like, yeah, but I could shut down all of this stuff and make things a lot simpler. So yeah, I got to do both. I kind of got to do both. I have a 3950X. Yeah, nice too. Love the AM4 upgrade path for sure. Yeah, you get a lot of use out of that socket. Let's see. Thanks, Cadis. Not sure if I will use an NVMe for an L2 ARC. The pool and NAS I'm building will host backups. Yeah. I ended up buying what I thought was a pretty good price for the Intel Optane drives, and I bought rather small ones too, because I heard that like the bigger ones you buy, it has to actually map that to RAM too. And so you could be using a ton of RAM for your L2 ARC that doesn't even use a lot of disk space. And so that was one of the tips I heard too, is just get a small Optane drives for your L2 ARC. So then it's not using more of your ARC. I don't know. There are so many tips and tricks, and ZFS is crazy. It's crazy, but it's crazy awesome. Hey, Fenris Games, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Tier 1 sub, thank you so much. Welcome. Proxmox with the TrueNAS Core is my go-to. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, if you're in single node land, that is the way to go. 100% agree. I might go scale for NFS 4 support. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I went scale. I didn't go for NFS 4 support, although, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I do get that. I went for it for Linux. I went for it for Linux just because. Populous Mocha, Proxmox plus virtualized TrueNAS is the way to go. I totally agree. Hey, does someone know on which system Blank runs? Want to create a knowledge base? I'm betting. I love trying to guess. I'm betting you're asking about, it's one of two things. It's going to be my wiki. Probably not, because a lot of people don't know that. Wiki.technotim.live. Or it's going to be technotim.live, which is my website. If it's the wiki, it's built on Wiki.js. Yeah, if it's technotim.live, it's built on... it's Markdown. Oh, why am I... Jekyll. So it's built on Jekyll. So if you go to technotim.live and you just search for Jekyll, it'll come up. And I have a 100% walkthrough of how to build your own site exactly like technotim.live. You could run a clone today. If you could actually run my whole website, because my whole website is open source. You don't want to do that because, like, why would you host my content? You want to host your own content. But I have a lot of examples of how to make pages look pretty nice, because all of my content is code too. I write my content as code, and I commit it up, and it builds in CI, and it builds a container, and it hosts it in my K3s, all at home. Every time I make a change. Anyways, that being said, yeah, find that video or find that documentation. Has a walkthrough of getting everything set up for Jekyll, and you can build a clone of my website today. Get it going in probably 10 minutes. Let's see. I posted my data center. I just posted my data center work with PM and my project. Hey, I'll check it out, Microsoft. I'll check it out. So you posted your data center work inside of Discord, I assume, in my project. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. I know it's getting a little bit late. Oh, it's 4:20. 4:21. Yeah, I went way over. Hey, real quick, dude, Lucky Boyapa. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Family Guy. Hi to all. My home server, I assume, is an Intel i3 NUC running a few little things in Proxmox. Also installed Ollama offline ChatGPT, but lacking the GPU to make it tolerable speed. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's gonna kill you. That's gonna kill you. You're probably gonna get, one token per, one token per 10 seconds on a CPU. Yeah. I mean, you gotta go GPU. If not, it's gonna be a super beefy CPU, and it's gonna be super slow even then, because it's just not optimized for that, the way it searches. All right, y'all. I thought I was gonna get a lot of these comments. I do apologize. I am skipping a lot of comments because I got to wrap things up here in a minute. Ivan Neo, thanks for the follow. Thank you so much. This one I'm just clicking. All right, last one. Hi, arrived late. Also working on my PC of my friend's PC through Hyper-V. I made him also a virtual Windows with an Edge firewall, pfSense. Some rules so that virtual PC can't see anything else on the internet. Oh, there we go. There's my RFC 1918 is my friend. Yeah. That's the RFC I was looking for earlier too. Reasons are for the dangerous sites that are all risky that he wants to, other than his main system not compromised. Right now I'm working on that PC from that PC. Oh, awesome. So let's break this down. One, you're not late because I'm still here. Also, you're working on a PC for your friend, and then you are running a hypervisor. That's Hyper-V from Microsoft. You made him a virtual machine inside of there that is actually running pfSense, that it's firewalls. You've applied some rules so that the virtual PC can't get anywhere else, just to the internet. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I was talking about this with VLAN. So basically you created firewall rules to say, hey, you don't get to see the RFC 1918. I can never remember it. Basically all private addresses. Basically saying, hey, you can't get to any other private address or any other private network. So you only got the internet. So pretty awesome. Yeah, awesome. And you're on that right now. Hey, that's a good friend. You're teaching them the ways. The Padawan ways of home labbing. So good friend. Dude, Mafney, hi, happy Saturday. Dude, thanks for the continued support. 41 months. Let's go. What's up, Mafney? I'm gonna call you Mafney. I'm gonna keep that up while we're here. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, y'all. It's 4:20. It's a little bit after 4:20, but it was 4:24 minutes ago. Speaking of 4:20, I gotta go. I don't know how that relates to I gotta go, but I do. Hey, real quick, Crack Kitty, dude, let's go. 27 months, let's go. That's one more than 26. That's right. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I went a little bit over today, so I apologize. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I try to keep it, close to an hour-ish, because I don't want to babble forever. And I know other people, especially that are helping me with stream, got things to do. So I apologize. If you want to talk some more, if I skipped over your comment, I'm sorry. I would love to still chat. You could do that in Discord. We have a Discord server that has almost 10,000 people in it. And a lot of people, a lot of nice people, a lot of smart people, and we cover a lot of topics there. We also share a lot of the things that we're talking about here too. You can go and share anything you want there. I'd love for you to join. Use !Discord or click on some of the links or just Google TechnoTim Discord. It'll usually get you there. And outside that, I will be back here next Saturday, and then hopefully I'll have something out this week for you on YouTube. So, but also, thank you so much. There was lots of follows. There was lots of bits. There were lots of subs, new subs, resubs, and there was just lots of comments. And thank you all so much for everything, for everything, especially just for being here and chatting. But on top of that, everything else, it's like, I pretty much end the stream with this. But I can remember a time when I was streaming to one person, and that one person was me in a different browser window. So this is awesome. I appreciate you guys being here. It's more than I ever could have imagined. If you would have told little Tim, when I was, little Timmy, that I was gonna, stream on the internet to people and have a YouTube channel, I would just been like, yeah, right. So anyways, I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of the weekend. Whipstick, go stop. Hey, thanks for the follow. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Discord. If you need me, specifically me, feel free to ping me. I don't mind. Otherwise, just post somewhere and I'll see it. But yeah, have a good weekend. Have a great Saturday and be good to each other. Take care, folks.